Hi scrapbookers, this is Megan and I am here with another layout for you. For this one I am using the theme of my Mixed Media Monday. So it is Monday night as I am recording this. I apologize that it is so late that I am doing it. Today has been kind of a busy day. Mondays usually are. So anyway, for this layout I am using this stencil that I cut out with my Silhouette. To cut it out, I just used some of the Silhouette Silhouette chipboard, and that seemed to work pretty well. It's not the most perfect thing, and it's not going to be as durable as like a plastic stencil is, but it works. So I just used, I think it was India or something like that. It's a Stampin' Up color. It's like Island Indigo or something like that. It's kind of like a navy bluish color. And then here I already had these papers cut down to this size and they fit the photo that I wanted to use. So I'm just going to glue the photo down onto this pink and gray and white chevron paper, and then I'm going to mount it on to this. It's like a light blue and white paper that has triangles on it, or arrows, I guess you could call them. And then I'm going to mount that on top of the same chevron, the gray, pink, and blue chevron. And now here I am trying to figure out what else I want to use to layer underneath this photo. And I'm thinking I'm going to use this cut apart sheet, but I actually in the end don't end up using it like I thought I would. So I'm going to put that to the side. And I guess then I decide, well, I do kind of like this floral paper that's in the middle on the bottom. And then I also liked that part of the other cut apart that said noted on it, and I thought I could do some journaling as well as put the date on there. So here I'm going to edge the paper in this teal blue from Heidi Swapp. And I am just using a sponge dauber that I got from, I think that was Stampin' Up! That I got those ones from. So here I'm going to go back and edge all of these papers. Sorry, I'm not sure what I was doing there. Probably starting another video. While I do these process videos, as I'm scrapbooking, I watch other people do process videos, so every now and then I have to step away to start a new one, so that's probably what I was doing. So here I am just putting the ink on those papers up at the top. And then I'm gluing them down up in that left-hand corner. And for this layout, I really wanted it to be like clean lines, and I did want to do to use some gesso on it and also some other inks and things. So here I am pulling out my Heidi Swapp Color Shine Teal. And this is also where I am going to use this other stencil that I cut out with my Silhouette, and I'm going to do some inking with it as well as using some gesso. So I'm just going to spend a little bit of time pulling these pieces out. And I didn't need the whole thing, and so I just pulled out some of them. I didn't pull out all of them. I think I'm going to stop here in a minute. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Heidi Swapp and spray, and I'm just going to spray on the paper, the white background. And I decided that I didn't really like the way that looked. it didn't turn out as good as I thought. And so I'm actually going to change up the background a little bit. For this layout, I actually got my inspiration from Hannah Lemieux, and I will try to find the video that I got inspiration from and link it below. It was for one of her scrappy playdates with Alicia that she does. Okay, so here I had this pink polka dot paper, and so I'm going to use that and cover up most of the background where I kind of messed up that stencil. And then I also thought I would pull out some of these old Project Life cards that I got in kits from Studio Calico. And I'm thinking that I'm going to just have them popping up out at the top of that pink polka dot paper. So I'm just looking for some blues and pinks that match with this color scheme that I'm going with. So I spend a little bit of time going through all of these. And once I find these 4 cards, I am pretty set with how they look together. I really like the blues and the pinks. So I am just cutting them down to the sizes that I want, and then I'm going to put away all of those cards and continue on with the layout. So here I am going to start gluing everything down. And I really like that card that says, "Oh yeah." I just think that it's so cute. So I have all of those glued down now, and I am going to start playing around with my gesso. So I'm just going to put a little bit of gesso on a few different places behind where I'm going to place the photo. And I really like how this ends up looking. Just gives the layout a little bit more dimension and interest. So I'm going to put it in 3 different spots on this pink polka dot paper. And I'm not too worried about how it's looking. I'm just kind of going and not really paying attention much to where I'm placing it, but it all turns out just right. So I'm happy with that. And now I'm going to just kind of clean up my area a little bit with the gesso. And the nice thing about using the gesso on the chipboard is that once it dries, once the gesso dries on the chipboard, it makes the chipboard a little bit more sturdy. So that's kind of nice. So here I'm using the Heidi Swapp Teal Color Shine again, and I'm just doing some splatters of ink. Now I'm going to dry the gesso just a little bit so I can continue on with my layout. So here I pulled out my Studio Calico rotary stamp, and I put the date of December 17th on it, and I'm just going to stamp it right there next to the word noted on that Project Life cutout. or it was just a cut apart sheet, sorry. And there I was feeling to see if the gesso was dry yet, and it wasn't, so I'm going to dry it a little bit more. And here I cut apart or cut off a branding strip on a piece of paper that I don't really particularly like, because what I do with these layouts that are kind of heavy and have a lot going on, I put an extra sheet on the back just to make sure that it'll give it a little bit more support. And the paper that I use normally, I buy from Tuesday Morning, which you can buy a 25 pack of the same sheet of paper at Tuesday Morning, and it costs, I think, like $1.99 or $2.99. I can't remember, but it's a pretty good price, and you get 25 of them. And if it's, just a piece of paper that you don't particularly like, it's a good use of a paper. Or if you do like the paper, you probably don't want to use 25 sheets of the same paper, even if it is a front and back. So that also is a good way to use up paper. So this gesso just was taking forever to dry, and I didn't want to stop this layout and move on until I was done. So I am just going to keep at it until it is dry. And yeah, so finally I am going to glue down this photo, and I think I'm almost done with the layout. I'm going to do some ink edging on this pink paper, which I didn't do before I glued it down. So I am lifting it up a little bit here. And then I re-glue it down just to make sure that it stays. I also forgot to do the inking on the Project Life cards, so I am going to do a little bit of that on the edges. And it kind of gets on the background paper, but it doesn't bother me. It just kind of all blends in with the rest of the inking going on. So I add a little bit more there, a little bit more of the splatters, and I think that is it for this layout. I'm just going to cut it down because you can kind of see where the background that I had put on for sturdiness, where it was kind of standing out. So I'm just going to cut that down and then re-ink those edges, and that is going to be the end of this layout. Thanks so much for watching this Mixed Media Monday post, and I hope you'll come back next week for another one. Bye!